Hello. I'm Professor Pyrion Flax, and I'd like to talk to you today about the phenomena we call Spirit Breaker. What is Spirit Breaker? Simply put, he's a giant cow from space who is too legit to quit and gives no fucks. Scientists previously thought that perhaps Spirit Breaker would quit, and that there were fucks given. They were wrong. This all began just under a decade ago, yet we are still in a situation where very little is understood about this mysterious and oft-overlooked hero. I hope today to clarify just how large the balls of this space cow are, and indeed, just how few fucks are given, and perhaps, if we had the time, to analyse the legitimacy of his quitosity. Our research begins with an examination of the space cow himself. He is a cow, or cow-like creature. He is also very clearly from space. He glows blue, and he talks. Name an earthbound cow like that. Scientifically, this is the only criteria we need to determine the spaciness or otherwise of a thing. He has a number of quite remarkable abilities, which some in the scientific community consider to be nothing more than a novelty act. There are some who claim the space cow is a garbage tier hero. As I will now demonstrate, Spirit Breaker could cup his hand under his mighty butt and shit more truth into it. One ability to note is that Spirit Breaker inspires all those around him to give between 106 and 118%. If he was the coach of an American football team, he would be a good coach. He would give a speech like in that Al Pacino movie.
You find out that life's this game of inches. So is Dota 2. Because in either game, life or Dota, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early and you don't get the rune. 1/2 second too slow or too fast, you don't get that last hit. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every BM pause of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we end up adding up all those inches, that's going to make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this. In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know, if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. It's the 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who'll go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who'll sacrifice himself for his team. Because he knows, when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's Dota, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you going to do?
Thank you, Mr. Pacino. Now, he is also capable of bashing the shit out of people. Bashing, to be quite frank, is in the hands of the Lord. You hit someone, and if God decides you're mighty enough, then that dude will be bashed. It's that simple. On the back of Spirit Breaker's flail is inscribed, "In God we bash," and that's it, and that's all. His ult is something to do with the netherworld. It's a glorious combination of charging and bashing, and is great for stopping a fleeing, gutless coward in their tracks. You know, we've noticed a certain trick that one will see in movies sometimes, where someone is tapped on the shoulder, they turn around, there's nobody there, they turn back around, and the dude is right there, and says something like, "Lights out!" or "Surprise!" and then BAM! He smacks them in the chops. That's his ult. Finally, we come to the essential spell of the Spirit Breaker. Charge. This is the true heart of Spirit Breaker. A good charge has an almost heroically carefree quality. It should be dashing, enterprising, ballsy, unexpected, possibly deranged, and contain a good combination of guts, dash, and brio. I call this quality moo, and the following formula is used to derive this quality of moo. It symbolizes the M of the mooing cow, and the U is other people, the tear falling from the U here representing the inherent sadness in a Spirit Breaker charge. Indeed, Anguish is bound to the very essence of the Spirit Breaker charge for himself, his enemies, and above all, his teammates. How do we calculate mu? Using this formula. D times V squared times W times E squared cubed divided by P, where D is the distance charged. V is the loudness of the battle shout emitted by the player himself in real life. W, the number of teammates who could conceivably scramble to help you by TPing in or dropping what they're doing and backing up their deranged, idiotic cow friend who is charging to certain doom. And E, the number of enemy units or structures along the given path who see the charge and have ample time to gird their loins and react. This is then divided, of course, by P, where P is the number of pussies on your team telling you not to charge. You will then arrive at the value mu. If you are a true Spirit Breaker, this value will not matter. It doesn't matter how high it is, nor how low, because Spirit Breakers charge. That's what we do! If you would like some tips regarding Spirit Breaker charges, here is a simple flowchart. Point 1. Is charge ready? If yes, proceed to point 2. If not, wait. Point 2. Can you see any enemies? If not, wait. If you can, proceed to point 3. Point 3. Charge. Adhering to this strict and rigorous process will make you an effective Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker has it tattooed on his leg like that dude in Memento. You've got to figure that slamming headfirst into people for a living affects the brain. Just look at George Foreman. The dude named all his kids George, and even names his kitchen appliances George. He calls his wife George. If you ask him a question, you better make sure the answer can be George, or he's not answering it. Spirit Breaker is the same. If a moo is not what you're after, go fuck with somebody else. And that is Spirit Breaker. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my Facebook thingy, and subscribe to this channel, and the announcer pack should be out soon, and there now follows a musical interlude from my friend Fernok Dawn. Peace.